my name is Pamela Gold, and this is my first time doing story time. I'm super excited. I have several books I wanted to share with you today. I hope none of them you have heard before, or if you have, I hope you'll enjoy hearing them again. One thing about this time that we're living in is that, as we all know, we can't go to a lot of the places that we're used to going or that we enjoy going. And for me, that one of those places is the museum. So there's a wonderful book that I'd like to share with you called Katie Meets the Impressionists by James Mayhew. It's a book that I used to read to my kids when they were younger, and I just thought it was a great way to visit the museum when we actually can't right now. So I need my reading glasses. Okay. Katie Meets the Impressionists. It was Grandma's birthday, and for a special treat, she had taken Katie to the art gallery. Katie loved the gallery because you never knew what you were going to see there. "Look at the flowers in the painting," said Grandma. "I can only see blobs," said Katie. "The pictures are made up of blobs," said Grandma. "But when you stand well back, the blobs make a picture." Katie wandered off into the next room to try. There she saw a painting called The Luncheon by Claude Monet, and when she stood back, Katie could see a garden. Grandma would love flowers like those for her birthday, she thought. She closed her eyes and sniffed. She was sure she could smell the flowers. Some beautiful illustrations in this book, very realistic reproductions of the paintings. When Katie opened her eyes, there she was, amongst the daisies, hollyhocks, roses, and sunflowers. "Can I pick some flowers?" said Katie to the little boy, whose name was Jean. Jean called his mother and Nanny over and spoke to them in French. "Un bouquet?" said his mother. "Oui, Jean, you go and help the girl." So Jean and Katie gathered flowers together. "Are you going to paint them?" he asked. "No, they are for my grandma," said Katie. "Papa paints flowers," said Jean. "I'll show you." Jean, Katie. Jean took Katie to a room full of pictures, like a small gallery. "This is Papa's studio," he said. "He's a famous painter called Claude Monet." "I'm good at painting," said Katie. "Let's have a go." They mixed the paint on palettes with brushes and found canvases to paint on. They painted portraits of each other using blobs, just like real painters. "Now I'd better get back to Grandma," said Katie, and they went out into the garden. "Will you come another day?" asked Jean. "I'll try," said Katie. She picked up the bunch of flowers and, waving goodbye, climbed through the frame into the gallery. Katie saw that the bunch of flowers was beginning to wilt. "What I need is some water," she said, looking around the gallery. She saw a painting called A Girl with a Watering Can by Pierre-Auguste Renoir. Katie looked around her to make sure no one was watching her and climbed inside. "Can I have some water for my flowers?" said Katie. The little girl put the flowers into her watering can. "Voila," she said, but the flowers still drooped and flopped over. You recognize this painting? Very famous painting. How cool would it be to be able to climb into the frame in a museum? "Come and pick some more," Jingle, and that she was a panther chasing the girl. Suddenly, there was a terrible scream. It was the girl's mother. "You ruined my garden," she shouted. "It wasn't me," said the girl. "It was her," and she pointed at Katie. "Come here, you naughty child," said the mother. But Katie ran for the picture frame and leapt into the gallery, leaving the flowers scattered behind her. Katie sighed. She didn't dare go back to fetch the flowers. She went to look at the other pictures. There were a lot of pictures by Mr. Monet. Katie looked at one called A Field with Poppies. Wasn't that Jean, the painter's son, walking through the field? Katy climbed in to see. It was Jean. He was delighted to see her. "We're going on a picnic," he said, and Jean's mother said that Katy could join them. They walked together through the poppy field looking for somewhere to sit. Jean helped Katy gather armfuls of poppies for Grandma. Beautiful field of poppies. Afterwards, they sat in the shade of the tree, the perfect place for a picnic. Mrs. Monet opened a bag. She had bread and cheese and strawberries. But Jean heard a buzzing noise and looked up. A black cloud of bees was flying towards them. "They're after my poppies," shouted Katy, her mouth full of strawberries. Jean and his mother ran toward the poppy field, but Katy ran to the picture frame and dived into the gallery. The bees chasing her flowers. The bees followed Katy, who ran on until she reached a window. She flung it open and threw the poppies out. The bees flew after them. Katy panted until she got her breath back. She still didn't have any flowers for Grandma. She saw another picture by Pierre-Auguste Renoir. It showed a girl at the theater and was called Her First Evening Out. This girl was holding a posy of flowers. "Grandma would love a posy like that," said Katy before jumping into the picture. "May I have your flowers?" asked Katy. "I'll swap my hair ribbon." "Hush," said the girl, "the ballet is about to begin." Katy looked for a seat, but they were all full. The theater manager appeared. "Mademoiselle, may I see your ticket?" he asked. Katy didn't have one, so she ran off down some steps. She could hear the manager coming after her, so she opened a door to hide. On the other side, people in colorful costumes shouted at Katy, so she ran away from them toward some bright lights and the sound of music. Oops, sorry, I didn't share my picture. Oh. So running down the stairs. Katy pushed past heavy velvet curtains and found herself on stage. The dancers held their breath. So did the musicians in the orchestra. So did the audience. What was Katy going to do? Katy danced. The music started up again and Katy pranced all around the stage. How the audience loved her. They had never seen anyone dance so strangely before. They cheered and clapped and threw flowers. Hundreds of flowers fell upon Katy as she twirled around. "Well done," they shouted. "Bravo!" When the music stopped, Katy curtsied and gathered up her flowers. The manager rushed over to her. "My dear, you have such talent." Katy blushed. "I just jumped around a bit, really," she said. "You must dance every night. You will be famous," said the manager. "Thanks, but it's Grandma's birthday," said Katy. "I must get back." But Katy could not find her way to the picture frame. There were people everywhere changing costumes. She was afraid she might be stuck in the theater picture forever. All of a sudden, she saw another frame. "I must be in another picture," said Katy. She gathered up her bouquet and climbed into the gallery. Katy looked back at the picture, The Blue Dancers by Edgar Degas. "I wonder if I would have been painted if I had stayed still long enough," she said. Then Katy ran over to her grandma and gave her the flowers. "Happy birthday, Grandma." "Oh, I say," said Grandma, "wherever did you get these lovely flowers?" Katy just laughed. But what was that in her pocket? It was a paintbrush. Mr. Monet will need that, she thought. She ran back to the first picture, left the brush on the frame, and then ran to catch up with her grandma. You see there she left the picture. the paintbrush on the picture frame. And that is the end of Katie Meets the Impressionists by James Mayhew. I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, the next book that I was planning to read is an Olivia book, because who doesn't love Olivia? What I love about Olivia is that she is so creative and so imaginative, and if she were stuck inside during COVID-19, she would not run out of things to do or create or invent or imagine. So in this book, Olivia forms a band. Well, okay. Olivia couldn't find her other red sock. "What's the matter?" asked her mother. "I can't find my other red sock," said Olivia. "What are those all over the floor?" "They don't go with this one." "I found it!" Olivia's mother was packing a picnic. "I want everyone ready by 7 for the fireworks," she said. "And the band," cried Olivia. "Oh, I don't think there will be a band," said her mother. "But you can't have fireworks without a band," explained Olivia. "I know! We'll be the band." You see, the rest of her family is not so interested in that idea. "Fine," said Olivia. "I'll be the band." "What kind of band are you thinking of?" asked her mother. "She's thinking of a rock band," Olivia's mother. "A fireworks band, of course," said Olivia. "But sweetheart, one person can't be a whole band," said Olivia's mother. "Why not?" "Because the word band means more than one person, and a band sounds like more than one person. This morning you told me I sounded like 5 people. All day long, Olivia gathered everything she needed to make her band. All sorts of hangers and whistles and pots and pans. And here she is, taking things from her family members. She takes her brother's xylophone mallets and gives him his bottle. "Thank you," she says. She brings her brother cookies and takes his drum away. She finds her father reading the newspaper, grabs his suspenders, and says, "Look, Daddy, we're twins." Finally, she was finished. All that was left was to choose the perfect outfit. There's Olivia's mother changing her brother's diaper. Ping, tinkle, tinkle, cling, strum, clang, tink, 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 thump, ting, thump, bang, bang, whap. Oh, do you all hear the rain? I have a skylight in this room. And when she marched in, everyone agreed that Olivia did sound like more than one person. Ting, whistle, pank, pink, ponk, dong, boom, whistle, ting, 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 clang, clang, ding, boom, dong, ding. To Olivia, she sounded just like a real band. Tempo marziale means marching tempo. At 7 o'clock, Olivia's mother was trying to get everyone into the car. "Olivia, aren't you going to bring your band?" she asked. "I don't feel like it." "Well, don't forget to put everything away," her mother said. "Okay, Mommy." "Where are you going?" "I have to put on my makeup," said Olivia. "All right, sweetheart, but hurry." "Makeup?" The final touch. Oh, that is some serious lipstick on Olivia. ready for her close-up. Wipe that glop off your face, young lady, and get in the car now. Of course, when they got there, Olivia said, Mommy, I have to go to the bathroom. And of course, then Ian said he had to go to the bathroom too. William just went to the bathroom in his diapers. The sun was setting. They ate sandwiches and corn on the cob and strawberries and watermelon. When are the fireworks going to start? Asked Olivia. When it gets dark, explained her mother. When will it be dark? Soon, sweetheart. Is it dark yet? Almost. Be patient. Now is it dark? Finally, the fireworks started. And they were beautiful. It was very late when everyone got home. Go climb into bed, sweetheart, said Olivia's mother. No books tonight. Aren't you going to come kiss me goodnight? Asked Olivia. In a minute, and don't forget to put your band away. After Ian and William were tucked into bed, Olivia's mother tiptoed into Olivia's room. Kink, ping, clud, crash, crunch, boom, pring, clang, tang, ting, tong, tonk. Uh-oh. Olivia, I told you to put your band away. I could have broken my neck. But Olivia was fast asleep. Let's see what Olivia's dreaming about. She's dreaming about being the next Supreme Court Justice. Chief Justice, no less. The end. Oh my gosh, I hope you all can still hear me with this. Okay, so we'll do one I really love, which is called The Jester Has Lost His Jingle. And this is a book that, again, I think is a really special book to remind us of how important laughter is, even if our circumstances aren't the best. And I know people are kind of feeling down and lonely at times while we're all stuck inside, but anyway, this is a book I really enjoy. It's Jingle. Our story begins quite removed. Our story unfolds on an unfortunate day. You see, this morning, when the world awoke, no one was in any mood to joke. Happy and bubbled with joy, he already played with life as you play with a toy. He would dance to its rhythm, being light on his feet. He would sing to its tune, which was gentle and sweet. For he was the jester, and gesture would he, to make people laugh and fill them with glee. He had a special helper, as any jester should, a friend by the name of Farley, a piece of talking wood. He carried Farley all over. The two were quite a pair. They viewed life as a carnival, a fun-filled, festive fair. But today, when the jester broke out in his song, how could he have known that something was wrong? When he started his routine and strutted on the stage, how could he have known that the king was in a rage? So he sang his funny song, and he walked his funny walk, and he danced his funny dance, and he talked his funny talk. Nobody giggled, nobody yuckled, nobody laughed, and nobody chuckled. The jester has lost his jingle, the king yelled in dismay. His bells no longer tingle, that is all I have to say. Then without a thought and on a whim, the king decided to banish him. Banish me, sire, don't send me away. Why is your high highness so down this fine day? But the king gave no answer. He said nothing more, merely pointed his finger toward the front door. The jester walked out slowly, and a tear fell from his face, for he'd never left the kingdom, never wandered from this place. Oh, he looked so sad. And once outside, the jester cried, "Oh, Farley, I fear what they say is quite true. I am no longer funny. My career is quite through." "That's nonsense," claimed Farley. "You're still funny, I say. You were funny last week. You're still funny today." "It seems a nasty rumor, but laughter must be dead. The world has lost its humor," Farley sadly said. "Then it isn't me at all. It's the world that must be sick. We must find that sense of humor and bring it back here quick." So off they went, our fearless two, to bring back laughter back to you. The journey was long, and their journey was rough, but the jester was strong, and the jester was tough. Through desert, through snow. They looked far and near. They looked far and wide. They looked everywhere that laughter might hide. They searched in every corner, under rocks and up in trees. They peered into the heavens and gazed deep beneath the seas. They wandered through the country, through meadows lush and pretty. They came upon a gleaming bridge that led into a city. They looked in vain for flowers. They heard no songs of birds, but saw lots of angry faces and heard lots of bitter words. "Everyone here is so moody. Everyone here is so mean. I must confess this city is the saddest place I've ever seen. Maybe someone here can tell me. Maybe someone here might know. How come people aren't laughing? How come spirits are so low?" "Ask that man," Farley motioned. "That man over there. The thin one in the alley with the tangles in his hair." "Okay," said the jester, "I'll give it a go. Why are you not laughing, sir? I'd really like to know." "It's kind of hard to laugh or joke when you're unemployed and completely broke. I have no job, I have no money, so tell me, jester, what's so funny?" "Oh, Farley, I fear it's much worse than I thought. Is laughter something these people forgot?" "Impossible," cried Farley. "Why, that's news I couldn't bear. Ask that man with the briefcase, blowing smoke into the air." "Okay," said the jester, "I'll try another try. It seems you don't believe in laughing, sir. Can you please tell me why?" "Laugh? Ha! That's a laugh. The best I've had in years. The world is not a funny place. It's filled with pain and tears. Don't you read the papers? It's all there in black and white. Everything's going wrong, and jokes won't make it right. I have no time for laughter. I have no time for you. I'm sorry that's the way things are. There's nothing you can do." Goodness, he's running into some very grumpy people. "Don't believe him," said Farley. "We know he must be wrong. Our search for laughter must continue. Time to move along." The jester looked up to the sky as he let out a woeful sigh. He fought back tears and shook his head, then with determination said, "There must be someone somewhere with a smile upon their face. There must be someone cheerful in this cold and lonely place. Say, look at that tall building. Perhaps we'll find the answer there. It's up to us to make a difference. It's up to us to care. It's a hospital. What of her? Asked Farley, that little girl in bed. The one who looks so fragile with the bandage on her head. Hello, little girl, the jester said. My, how do you do? I wonder if you can tell me, how come laughter's not with you? The little girl looked up, and her eyes were opened wide. She turned slowly to the jester, and she quietly replied, Here I lie. I have a tumor, and you ask me where's my sense of humor? I've been very sick. I'm so very tired of trying. I don't feel like laughing. I just feel like crying. Sometimes I feel like crying too, the jester whispered in her ear. But instead of letting teardrops fall, I make them disappear. Whenever I feel like crying, I smile hard instead. I turn my sadness upside down and stand it on its head. When I get sad or lonesome, or when I get depressed, that's when I sing my loudest and dance my very best. So won't you try it, little girl? Won't you laugh with me? We'll start off very slowly with a tiny tee-hee-hee. So he sang his funny song, and he walked his funny walk, and he danced his funny dance, and he talked his funny talk. And from the room there came a giggle which echoed down the halls, and soon there came another which bounced up and down the walls. The giggle became a snicker, which grew into a guffaw, which soon became a chuckle that transformed into a ha. The jester was beside himself. He grinned a great big grin. He hugged and thanked the little girl and kissed her on the chin. He leaped into the palace and he hugged the king and queen. He said, Oh, my high highness, you won't believe what we have seen. Laughter isn't missing. It isn't even dead. Farley and I have found it, the jester proudly said. We found where it's been hiding. We've discovered where it's been. It's hiding inside everyone. It's buried deep within. Laughter's like a seedling waiting patiently to sprout. All it takes is just a push to make it pop right out. Don't keep it imprisoned or locked out of sight. Quickly release it. It won't hurt or bite. So the king said, I'll try it. I'll give it a go. And all of a sudden, out popped a ho. That's it, yelled the jester. Just let it flow. And it flowed, and it flowed, and it flowed. My jester, you have done it, said the king. You've saved the day. You've brought back love and laughter and helped us find the way. And when the jester heard these words, he smiled and started singing. He somersaulted in the air, for his bells again were ringing. So when you're feeling lonely, or sad, or bad, or blue, remember where laughter's hiding. It's hiding inside of you. The end. So I hope you enjoyed those books today. I hope the connection stayed. We had rain, we had whining dogs, but it was really fun to read. I hope I get a chance to do it again. I wish you all a wonderful afternoon. Until next time.